Hello and welcome back to my tiny little corner of YouTube where we keep bumping into each other. How the devil are we? How are we doing today? So this morning I was standing in the shower, and to be honest, that's where I get like most of my downloads. I'm like in the shower and like something comes to me and I'm like, ooh, that's a genius idea, or it just feels like the place where it seems to land for me for some reason. And then I realised people who know me, I think wouldn't think I was the busiest fool in the world. I'm not like a busy person. I know I often talk very fast, which I'm learning to try and speak a little slower and not too frantic. But it's passion. It's just how I speak. But yeah, I think I'm not the busiest of fool. I'm not like do. But internally, in my head, I am a busy fool. Like my mind is always on the go. Like there's so many things. It struggles to slow down. It's always like thinking, overthinking, doing too much thinking. And that's why I'm like trying to find some type of balance, some stillness. I am very much that person who likes to always have a podcast on, always be watching a YouTube video, finding something, like listening, having the TV on, something like noise, like, and even when I'm doing something, I'm like consuming content, always like consuming, I'm always trying to learn, like I'm always trying to like work on my personal development and my self-growth. And so it's like, even though I think like, oh, I might not be doing too much because I'm just journaling or I'm just listening to a podcast, actually my brain is still being very busy and I'm not allowing the time to kind of hit them creative juices and find that like fertile void. So this may be a new concept to some people. I don't think it's spoke about as often as it should be, if you ask me. But the fertile void is that little juicy bit between the creative kind of everything flowing and finding your way and finding your passion. Fertile void is that moment. It's all to do with cycles and ovulation. But obviously that fertile void is that little bit between the moment ending and something new beginning. But it's that sweet spot that you have to allow yourself to have the space and the time to come up with the ideas, come up with the space. So now some people may find, it depends on how your day works. Like the shower is a good place because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I do have a podcast on in the shower. I know, I feel like that's like so bad, like it's the only time I should. I can barely hear it, so why I've got it on, I'll never know. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I must be doing. The shower is a good space. The bath, I mean, there's no hope because I put YouTube on the computer and watch that in the bath. So that's a tricky one for me. But the shower seems to be a good place. And even when I'm in the car, I might be voice noting a friend, or I might be listening to a podcast. Like if you can find some time to just allow yourself, I mean, amazing if you can get out in nature and go for a walk, brilliant. But if you can kind of put into your day and find the time when you're doing something to allow yourself to just think and be present, that's where magic really does happen. It's this beautiful space. Also, a time of the year is between Christmas and New Year, Twixmas it's called, and it's that bit where everything just slows down, everything goes quiet. And if you allow yourself to just be and to just just go, don't overdo it, don't overthink it, don't be like, oh, we've got to fill this time. We get consumed a lot, particularly in this day and age. We have access to so much, which is brilliant. We can always be learning, we can always be connecting, we can always be communicating. But it doesn't allow ourselves and our brains to have the capacity to be creative. I always say this to Oliver because I always think about when I was at school. I think a teacher once said to me, like we were drawing on a canvas, I was like, just step away and come back and you can see what you need to do, because sometimes you can't see what you're creating. So Chris has got into bonsai trees. We got Bob for Father's Day, and now he's got some of his own bonsai trees. So he's cutting away at them on Sunday. And I said to him, I was like, just step away, because now I've renamed this one Weird Barbie, because it was going to them places. He was cutting. I was like, there's going to be nothing left of this tree. I think he spent £11 on this tree from the garden centre. I'm pretty much certain we could take £11.59 back of it. It's in the recycle. He trimmed it that much. And actually he'd done a good job, but sometimes you've just got to be careful not to fall into Weird Barbie and end up starting cutting that hair, and then the next thing, it's gone. It's like spiky. if you had a Barbie doll as a little girl, or if you've watched Barbie, the movie, you'll know exactly what I mean. You'll know exactly where I'm going. And I feel like that is the fertile void, where you sometimes just need to just stop, pause, take a step back, go for a walk, come back, look back at the canvas, look back at the bonsai tree and go, yep, I can see what I need to do now. Because sometimes we can either do too much and go too far and there'll be nothing left of Barbie's hair. And she's just bald, bless her. We just don't have the motivation or the creativity or the passion, and we're like, I'm overwhelmed. There's actually too much to do, and I don't even know where to start. But when you take that step back and you allow for a space in time, whether that be, it may be a big project, it may be a length of time that you need. You might need to sit on the sofa for 6 weeks. I'm not disclosing anybody's private information here, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. When you got made redundant, you sat on the sofa for 6 weeks to allow your brain to have that creative capacity to find that fertile void, to go, light bulb moment. You've got to allow for the light bulbs to come on. And if you pack your brain and your head with too much information, too much knowledge, and you don't step back and go back to the canvas, the light bulbs will never turn on, and you just then become overwhelmed. You get burnt out. The creative juices completely go. There's a reason why athletes have active rest. There's a reason why they allow their muscles to stop, and it's the same with your brain. Just pause, have a little rest and reset, come back to the canvas, come back to the project, come back to the creative things. And it's magic. It's literally magic. It comes from somewhere within, like this power, like this. I mean, I think it's a download. To me, it comes down, but it can come up. It can come from internally. And I think, to me, the universe is internal. We're all our own universe. It all comes from our insides. But let me know where your downloads come from. Let me know if they come from above, below, behind, wherever, because we're all different. We all find that light bulb moment somehow, some different. It looks different to all of us, but it is essentially the same thing. It is our fertile void, where it's that space where literally magic happens. It's literally where we've probably all been on holiday, where you've allowed yourself time away from your phone, away from your emails, you've locked it up in the safe, you've given yourself that time, and you just want to get back to the office, you want to get back to your job, you want to get back to your fitness plan or whatever it is that you're doing, because you've got all these ideas and you're like, just ready to start, and I want to try this and I want to try that, because you've allowed yourself the space and the time. And I do feel like through this kind of development stage of YouTube, even though I've been kind of being busy and being creative, I have really allowed myself to stop with everything else and just let this happen. And that has felt scary. It has felt a little bit like, oh, like I should be doing more of the other stuff. I'd be creative. How would I find ideas? Where would all these topics come up from? If I'm being a busy fool in just trying to let everything else. I mean, or if I'm filming a video, maybe what you see here is all nice and tidy, but behind the camera might be a little bit of carnage, and that's the same. Sometimes we just have to allow a few little balls, the plastic balls that don't matter. If you just let them drop a little bit, they bounce straight back up. If you just let them settle for a bit, then you can work on one thing. You can work on the things that you want to work on and allow kind of that momentum, because the problem with motivation and willpower is it goes away, and we can't always rely on that. We sometimes have to just go, okay, that's great. You've served your purpose. You know what you needed to get me to do. Now I need something else. Now I need creativity and ideas and all them nice juices that flow inside when we allow them to. All them things. We all have them things. We are all creative. I remember somebody once saying to me, oh, you're not creative. And I was like, more fool you that you don't know I'm creative. Just because I'm not going to do you the prettiest picture like you can do, but I can be creative in lots of other ways. Everybody's creative. I follow this YouTube account, Accountant She, it's called, and she's brilliant. And she says the exact same thing. She says that she's an accountant, so she should be this square little person with this little narrow mind, and she isn't. She's very creative. She's found this creative outlet by following her passion in accountancy, but creating content online. And we can all do that. It might be something that seems really nerdy and really square, like numbers or maths, and very mathematical, and it's a very black and white, but you can still be creative. You can be a creative accountant. I mean, that's a dream, isn't it? A creative accountant, eh? We got to We should all be creative accountants. That would help with a lot of people's money psychology, that's for sure. So the fertile void, it can often feel like stillness or emptiness or like nothingness even, but it's really not. It's just nothing. It's okay to have that space, and it's a space full of potential. Like, it's the unknown. That's the joy of this space, this void, where you kind of step into this magical space of this unknowing. I mean, you've got to think of it as like winter. Before winter comes before spring, exhale comes before inhale, the menstrual phase before the body begins again. Like, we're all secular. We all need all these stages. The nature doesn't grow all year round. It has to have that stillness, that harvest. Everything has to start, and it's all back to us being secular beings. It's all back to us being able to have the ebbs and the flows. That is life. How would you know the rough with the smooth? How would you know sadness if you didn't know happiness, and vice versa? We have to have all these things. So you have to have the busyness and you have to have the stillness for them both to live in this beautiful harmony. We've got to learn that it's the pause that prepares us. Nature doesn't rush this. So why do we try and skip it? Why do we try and skip through this and be busy Monday to Friday we work, and then the weekend comes, we've got to be busy with the kids, we've got to be busy with our social lives. Sometimes we just have to learn how to feel into that void and allow ourselves the rest and the stillness, because actually it's not counterproductive. It's very productive, because even though you feel like you're doing nothing, you're doing more than you could if you've overwhelmed yourself with things. So it's so important to have that rest and that stillness and that beautiful fertile void I'm ramping on about. We can practice this on the daily with meditation or visualization or stillness, and there's loads of times in the day that you can do that. And I'd question anybody if they say they're too busy to do that, because it's a priority. I once remember reading sometime you should meditate for 1 hour every single day unless you're busy, and you should meditate for 2 hours. And that is like, wow, yeah, mic drop. Like, when you're busy is when you actually need the stillness the most. That's the whole point of you being busy and overwhelmed, is that you're lacking that stillness. If you'd allowed yourself the space for the quiet and the pause and that restoration period, quiet, the magic really does start to grow. And says rest is productive. It really is. And we're not taught this. It's not something we know. We're taught to keep going, keep hustling, work harder, trading our time for money. But actually, when we just find that space, our intuition just starts to whisper, and they're telling us all these beautiful, juicy little things of like true alignment. And it's where you kind of finding clarity. And when you don't have the answer for certain things, you can hear it so clearly when all you do is allow yourself to hear it. If you keep yourself busy and your mind busy, it quiets down your intuition. It doesn't allow you to speak to your intuition. And it's exactly what you need to be, where you need to be. It has all the answers. You already have all the answers. You've just got to train yourself to listen and how to hear it. So for me, I've just felt this fertile void over the last few months. Like, right now, this is kind of where I am. I'm not in employment. I'm sitting in this gap, and it's like I'm trying so hard not to rush into to fill the space and just allow kind of whatever to be will be. And I'm not forcing a plan. I'm just having these like little moments where I'm like, okay, that feels like the right thing, let's go with it. And that's coming from my intuition. It's not my head. My head is definitely saying something else. I'm definitely battling with my head to go, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, really? You're going to start a YouTube channel? What are you going to talk about? Inside, my intuition's like giving me all the answers, all the clarity, and all I'm trying to do is go, okay, let's try something new. Like, nothing will change if nothing changes. Let's give this a go. And I'm just trying to journal more. I'm trying to meditate. I'm trying to visualize. I'm letting go of old ideas that are not serving me anymore. And then hopefully, and I'm just trying to accept that it's not lazy. I'm not lazy. It's called a sacred space. It's my fertile void. And for the first time, I'm just trying to like trust my intuition. And again, it's your intuition is like a muscle. It's very much like the more you trust it, the more it will give to you. But if it keeps shouting at you and giving you all the answers, and if you keep saying, I need clarity, give me a sign, universe, like intuition, God, whatever you want to call it, like what's the sign, what's the path I should be on, why is this happening to me? And it's giving you these signs and you're just ignoring it, which I probably did for too long, it quietens down because it's like, you're not listening to me. I've been telling you, I've been saying quit your job, I've been saying leave it, like I've been saying all these things you need. I've been telling you to find something new, do what you want to do, create something, start your own business. I've been telling you to do these things, but you're not listening. And then it goes quieter and quieter. And then sometimes it just gives you a big hard kick out the door and goes, there you go, I told you, if you're not going to listen, I'm going to show you the way. So, I mean, it gets its own way. Your intuition and the universe always gets its own way in the end, but it just depends if you want a real thrust into it, like that acceleration, because it really does. The universe doesn't allow you to stay on the wrong path forever. It will just keep telling you and keep pushing you. If you keep going back to it, that's a you problem. Like, that's not the universe. The universe will keep telling you, maybe you're getting in the wrong relationships, or maybe you keep going for the wrong jobs, or you keep doing the wrong things. The universe will keep putting you back in. It'll keep putting you back in. But you've got to do the hard work. You've got to listen. And I think that's the battle between your head and your heart. And some of us are more head focused. Some of us run more with our head. I'm not. I am learning that I'm definitely a gut person. I'm a shoot from the hip. If it feels right, let's go with it. And if I keep letting my mind kind of override it, my mind adjusts my thoughts. They're okay. They're not always correct. Sometimes they're there to protect me. Sometimes they may tell me like these things and to worry about these things that are not correct. I have to just dial in and go, wait a minute. What's my gut saying? What's my intuition saying? Is it a full body yes? If it's not a full body yes, then it's a hell no. You cannot let your mind overrule the whole programming system, because sometimes it tricks us and sometimes it tells us stuff to protect us and keep us in our safe space, because that's what the brain's designed to do. It's designed to protect us. But if you want to just have a little bit of quality of life, or if you want to level up, if you want to increase your vibration, your frequency, you have to do a little bit more. You know, you don't gain muscle by not doing a workout, unfortunately. You've got to keep doing the reps. You've got to keep doing the hard stuff repetitively, daily, to get to where you want to be. And the only way we know where we want to be is by listening to our intuition and finding that in the fertile void. So all I can suggest, in my experience, is if you're feeling lost, tired, stuck, then maybe you need to be in your fertile void. Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time in stillness, rest, proper deep rest. Journal when you feel like you've got something to say. I had something to say last week and I just journaled it down. I felt so much better. I didn't even do anything with it. I just getting it out felt so much better. It's kind of that release. But by chewing it all up inside yourself and going over it and over it and over it again, and sometimes you may want to say something to a boss or your partner or something, or something you want to share with somebody, but it's not going to get received in the way that you want it to be received in that moment. Maybe you can speak about it. Just put it down on paper. Get it down on paper, and that it's literally just releasing it from you, and you stop overthinking it all the time. And every time you're like, that's so annoying, it's almost like you've dealt with it. It's like done, ticked it off the to-do list, and you can move on, and it's not ruining your day. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for getting this far. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like this without even realizing. Maybe you've had a moment where you're just like overwhelmed and you're just so much going on in your brain that you just literally can't get the answers, or you can't get the clarity, and by stopping and pausing, actually that's found you all the answers that you'd been looking for. So yes, I hope you're not stuck, but if you are stuck somewhere and this video has helped you, that makes me very happy, and I'm going to still just keep floating through my fertile void and hoping that all the answers come to me in the way they do. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.